Hello, my name is Robin Turan, and somewhere in North America I've always wanted to travel is to Toronto. So welcome to the Six, and here we go. Toronto is located in southern Ontario on the northwestern shore of Lake Ontario. It is the capital city of the province, the largest city in Canada, and the fourth largest in North America. The city proper has a population of just under 3 million, but the Greater Toronto metropolitan area has more than 6 million people. The climate in Toronto typically consists of warm, humid summers and cold winters with occasional heavy snowfall and blizzards. Rainfall is distributed evenly throughout the year and vegetation is abundant, with 10 million plus trees within city limits and 4 million of those in public places planted by the government. Notable landforms include Scarborough Bluffs on the coast of Lake Ontario, which is pictured, and Niagara Falls is only about 90 miles away. The history of Toronto, like most of North America, starts with Indigenous peoples. The Laurentide ice sheet was a continental glacier that covered most of northeastern North America and retreated about 12,500 years ago. Indigenous people moved in shortly after as nomadic hunter-gatherers, following caribou and other game, as well as using the lakes and rivers to fish. By the year 500, the population grew to more than 10,000 Algonquins. Corn was introduced about 1400 years ago, and people began to establish permanent communities based on agriculture. The Iroquois also began to populate the area, but unfortunately population began to decline by 1650 due to tribal disputes and diseases brought by European settlers. French fur traders were one of the first European groups to come to the area, but eventually abandoned it and the British took over as many loyalists migrated following the American Revolution. It officially became a city in 1834 and was named the capital of Ontario in 1867. By the 1870s, industrialization rapidly took over, with the population growing 5 times between 1831 and 1891. Manufacturing grew with World War I, and World War II solved much of the unemployment created by the Great Depression. Queen Elizabeth II of England is officially still the monarch over Canada, but the Governor-General carries out most federal royal duties. Justin Trudeau, pictured at the top right, currently serves as Prime Minister. There are also 25 members of Parliament representing Toronto in the House of Commons, and another 25 serve in the Legislative Assembly of Ontario, similar to U.S. and state senators in America. The area has historically been an important source of support for the Liberal Party, and voters are reliably progressive, unlike their counterparts in Western Canada. Also pictured here is Norm Kelly, the deputy mayor, who is a cultural as well as a political figure and is quite popular in the city as well as on Twitter. Toronto is the economic heart and manufacturing capital of Canada, contributing 20% of the nation's GDP. There are over 80,000 businesses, more than a third of the country's top 500 industrial firms, and over 8,000 industrial plants. It is also a major hub for banking and finance, communications, technology, and retail, most of which are found downtown, such as in the financial district pictured here. Tourism is also a growing industry, but when it comes to primary sector activities, urbanization has made it so that there isn't much agriculture. When it comes to the culture of the city, there's plenty that makes it vibrant and unique. There are teams for all 4 major sports, and the Multicultural Canada Festival is the biggest one in the country, attracting millions every summer. The CN Tower is also a popular attraction, and the music scene is growing in popularity, with Drake, The Weeknd, and other artists coming from the area. Neighboring Quebec has conflicts between Roman Catholics and Protestants, as well as between French and English speakers. But Toronto is home to a diverse assortment of religions and ethnicities who all coexist peacefully. It is the most culturally diverse city in the world, with half of the population being foreign-born. There are a variety of ethnoclaves found throughout the city, associated with many of the larger migrant groups, such as Chinatown, Greektown, Little Italy, and Little India. One of the biggest issues the city faces with its constantly growing population is transportation. The public transportation system has struggled to keep up with the growth and the demands it places on infrastructure. Steadily increasing fares and higher demands have rendered it inefficient, expensive, crowded, and time consuming. The monthly transit pass is one of the most expensive in the world at $150. The lack of subway coverage outside of downtown makes it difficult for residents in the periphery to get to the city center, and buses don't run as often as needed and are frequently not on schedule. There is a streetcar system that is one of the biggest and busiest in North America, but runs on the same roads as cars and buses, contributing to congestion and sometimes delaying commutes due to traffic patterns. It is clear that an expansion in public transportation is sorely needed, and the local transport agency Metrolinx hopes to contribute to the solution. They plan to expand the regional system by adding nearly 750 miles of rapid transport, which will hopefully help solve some of these transportation woes. I also have included my references here for media, as well as the references for all my information. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this has inspired you to travel to Toronto one day as well.